Hey guys, what's going on? Back again with another zombies video, and I want to talk about the chance that Nikolai is still alive somewhere. It's something that we probably overlooked, maybe some people missed, or a lot of people missed, or maybe I'm the one that just kind of never caught on to it until I realized it now. But as you see in the end of Tag Your Totem, it looks like Samantha shoots Nikolai in the back of the head, and she tells Eddie to look away. Now, as you probably know if you watch a lot of movies, when somebody dies off screen, they call it, where it means that you don't see it happening or happen. It's called, off screen. When you don't see them die, if it's like a villain or a hero, that means there's a possibility that the director or the movie studio wants to leave the door open for that character to come back, especially maybe in like horror movies or some type of like thriller or psychological thriller where you think like the hero kills the villain or the villain falls off a cliff. You don't really see them die. You just assume that they died to their death, but literally a million different things could happen where they fall off the cliff, like maybe a giant bird or something like that comes to save them, or they hang on to a cliff and they survive. It happens actually even in Black Ops with I think some of the characters. You don't see a lot of them die and end up coming back. You don't know how they came back. So again, it looks like Treyarch left the door open for Nikolai coming back, and this is something like I said where I probably took the bait that Treyarch put out, and I think everyone took the bait. I saw that some people talked about what I'm going to talk about, but they didn't make the connections, and I think that's a big problem. Like I've always said, the Achilles heel of the zombies community, where Treyarch can give us like 5 clues, 5 pieces of breadcrumbs, but for some reason the zombies community can't piece those 5 pieces together and understand what Treyarch is trying to tell them. So, including myself, I'm not trying to make it sound like I didn't fall for it or I didn't take the bait. Because I thought in Cold War, as you know, Samantha's on the phone with Weaver, and then uh, she says she has a videotape from a Russian friend, a late Russian friend that like died, and that's the bait that everybody took. Where I thought, and I think everyone across the board, as far as like the zombies community and the toxic zombie YouTubers, the big channels, because I don't think any of them clarified it or maybe even understood. I think we all just took the bait and we um, thought that Nikolai was dead, and she was hinting that maybe before Nikolai died, he gave her the videotape of Project End Station and Die Machine and stuff like that. Now, like I said, I might be the idiot and think that like, wow, nobody really even mentioned this. Maybe I just missed somebody's video. Because I do watch a lot of theory videos, and that's what I like. I like when the zombies community makes theory videos, and even some of the big toxic channels. I don't mind watching some of their videos if they're blatantly saying it's a theory. If they try and sell it like this is fact and stuff like that, then I get upset, and then then I kind of just turn off the video. But I like when the zombies community try and comes up with theories and ideas. Again, with that being said, I don't think I saw anyone make the connection um, that it's not hinting at Nikolai. I think we all assumed for some reason that Nikolai is dead and he gave her a videotape or somehow knew what was gonna happen and gave her a videotape, because if I watch or you watch a lot of reaction videos, as soon as she said a old Russian friend and then Weaver says, wait, Russians and Germans are friends and stuff like that, we all assumed that it was Nikolai and Hay before Nikolai died, and it confirms that Nikolai was dead and she shot Nikolai. Um, Now, what I'm about to show you, like I said, maybe some people know, and it may or not confirm that we might get Nikolai somewhere in the future, or Primus or Ultimus. However, with the state of Vanguard, and we went through it with Black Ops 4, and we went through it with Cold War, a lot of the big channels are very toxic. They've always been super toxic and negative. So I don't know if it's a good idea at this point to bring back. I know everything isn't run by or shouldn't be decided upon how the big channels are toxic, and it's gonna ruin everything for the zombies community and stuff like that. Again, with that being said, it would be cool if somewhere down the line we see Nikolai or Primus and they're really alive. She didn't really shoot him. But at the same time, the way that, you know, the big channels are super toxic and stuff like that, and they're only being super toxic because they can only make money from Primus and Ultimus. They can't make money from, you know, the Chaos Crew. They don't know how to make money from, you know, anything other than Primus and Ultimus. But what it actually was, I know I kind of went off topic, but it all is going to make sense. Before we got Cold War, there was an RNG where Treyarch sent out some images, some photos, and even that, like, it was supposed to be a long ARG, which is an augmented reality game, I think it's called, or alternate reality game. Was supposed to be stretched out, but I think at one point, again, the zombie YouTubers were being really toxic and saying this is boring, it's too hard to figure it out. So I think what Treyarch ultimately did was just gave us all the information and did like a info dump, and just dumped out all the images without giving us the actual ARG or time to solve the ARG. I think they just got annoyed that, you know, the zombie YouTubers are toxic and stuff like that. But there were a lot of clues that were hinting towards Time Machine in Cold War Zombies. They were supposed to have this long, stretched out game. They were supposed to solve like clues and stuff like that. But in one of those, we get a letter to Maxis from her Russian friend, Tatiana, and she ends up dying at some point. I think she ends up getting caught because she was like a spy, helping Maxis, and leaked the videotape to Samantha Maxis. So this is the actual Russian friend that died, and gave her the videotape. It wasn't Nikolai. So at this point, we don't know where Nikolai is, or, you know, unless Treyarch and Call of Duty thought it would be too graphic to show Nikolai's death, and he really is died. She really did shoot him in the back of the head. So it could be one of two things, and I guess that's the whole idea, to leave it open as a cliffhanger, or maybe leave it open to the audience. And we might never ever find out an answer, because there's some movies that, unless the director came out themselves, more, I'm thinking more like Stanley Kubrick and stuff like that, where they have these real complicated movies and cliffhangers and open-ended endings and stuff like that, that you might never know if Nikolai got shot or not. Like I said, especially with the state of the last three games, where the big channels are gonna always be toxic if it's not Primus or Ultimus and Eddie and Samantha and stuff like that. So again, it just kind of blew my mind that I don't think anybody really caught on. We all took the bait that, oh, it's Nikolai. Nikolai is dead. You know, she shot him and stuff like that. But this actually leaves the door wide open. At one point, left the door wide open, I should say, for a Nikolai return. But I don't know if they'll ever really go back to the Aether story, because the longer they stay connected to the Aether story, the longer or harder it's going to be for people to get separated from the Aether story and stuff like that. Original Aether story. I know we're in the Dark Aether now. We're probably going to have a couple more years of the Dark Aether and stuff like that, and more ongoings of what goes on in the Dark Aether. So again, in the letter it says there's a developing situation at La Bianca. They found something in the archives, something from the war. I'm not sure about the, what does that say? Collider? No. But several of the deputy chairmen are recommending that the committee authorize a ground operation. I know that says colleagues, Collison. I'm not sure about the Colligins, Colligsons. Maybe it was something in the ARG, like I said, that maybe we were supposed to figure out, but everything just got pushed along because people were being toxic. That the committee authorized the ground operations. I will try to find out what I can, but this is very worrying. There are very serious men, but I have never seen looks on their faces like I have in recent days. So again, I was definitely one of the people that took the bait. I just thought like, oh, she's referencing Nikolai, and I think people were just very emotional at the time when we were waiting to see what Cold War was going to be about, and we all just kind of like was looking for that connection to the Aether story. But in reality, that it was Tatiana that gave her the tape and died. So somewhere out there, maybe like I said, Nikolai is still alive. So I can't wait to find out. Maybe in Cold War, if we get some more content, or maybe some more intel, or maybe in a couple of years in Black Ops 6 or 7, whatever number we're on now, 4 or 5. I think Black Ops 6. Yeah, Black Ops 6. Or maybe even in Modern Warfare 20. 22, we might get some answers of Modern Warfare 2 2022. So it should be very interesting. But at the same time, I think this is maybe just a dead storyline as far as like, again, I don't know if they're ever going to really go back to the premise and Ultimates. They need to disconnect themselves from these toxic zombie YouTubers. Like I said, we got lucky that some of them moved along and quit zombies, but then some of them are still, you know, being very spiteful and toxic and just put out hate videos every single week or every single day, literally. But it's pretty cool to see where this might go. Again, it's up to Treyarch if they want to do it for the zombies community, maybe show Nikolai. But at the same time, you'll never get rid of those toxic zombie YouTubers if we keep hanging on to Nikolai and Richtofen and Primus and Ultimus. And like I said, there might be a chance that in Black Ops 6 we get a whole new story altogether, because that's been the theme. If you look at maybe even like Black Ops 2, maybe even Black Ops 3. Well, no, that'll continue. I guess it all pretty much started Black Ops 4, Infinite Warfare Zombies, World War II Zombies. They all got left on cliffhangers. Maybe even Call of Duty Ghost and stuff like that. Extinction Mode. So it's been kind of the trend or the norm now to leave it on a cliffhanger, and then the fans, the gamers, get to figure out or have their own theories of what happened. Because honestly, if you look at Extinction Ghost, you look at Black Ops 4 Chaos Story, you look at Cold War, and you look at World War II Zombies and Infinite Warfare Exozombies. Oh well, Advanced Warfare Exo Zombies. They all got left on cliffhangers. So Cold War could just be another game left on a cliffhanger, and it's up to the audience. I mean, that's pretty common in movies. So I wouldn't be upset if we just get a whole new story in Black Ops 6, and we have to come up with our theory what Richtofen did, or what happened at with Peck and Shinonuma, or Zetsubo Nishima, or whatever happened to the Samantha and stuff like that. Maybe it's all gonna be left on a cliffhanger, and somewhere down the road they'll explain it, and maybe in Black Ops 6 we'll get a whole new story altogether. Anyways, I'll leave it at that. I'll see you guys later.